Hi, I'm Cori Serrano. I'm 32. I have two boys. My sons are 15 and 10. I'm a hairstylist and I'm also a fitness instructor, a black belt in karate, and I teach a ladies' fitness class. Um, just to give an idea about my story, I grew up in the church. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My grandfather was a preacher. Um, and I was always very involved in missionettes and everything that the church did on the weekends, and we grew up there. We were there almost every night, you know. I knew so much about Christ. I had scripture in me. My mother had put it in me since I was little, and I could quote you so many things out of the Bible, but yet still live so miserably. And I couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand why I couldn't attain what other people had. I would see them, I would go to church camp, and I would see those kids up there speaking in tongues and being slain in the spirit and giving themselves all to Christ. And I would pray and I would try, and then nothing would happen. And I would think, I'm too bad. It didn't work for me. And I would leave and go behind the church and smoke a joint, you know. And I lived that way for many years of my life. And after the abortions, I was pregnant at 16 with my son, who's 15 now, who's great. And I decided that I couldn't go through that again. So I decided to keep him, and he was one of the things that saved my life. Sorry. But, um, for many years, I was not able to be the kind of mother that I really needed to be to him. And then I got married. I was married several different times, but my little son, when I was married to his dad, who was really great to me and to us, even with somebody they're loving you the way that they're supposed to, if you're broken inside, you just can't love them back the way you should. And so I ended up ruining that relationship because I just didn't know how to handle it. And again, everything inside me wanted to be a good mom. Everything inside me wanted to be there for them, but I just couldn't. I would go through phases of my life where I would phase in and out of drugs, and I could keep them off for a while, but after a while they would come and overtake me again, and I just had this constant struggle of being back and forth with the drug use. So many people around me, and still feeling empty, I just still kept crying out to God, but yet through all of this, still angry with him because of the things that had happened to me, and still not able to let go that anger, and wanting to know why, and wanting to know where were you and what happened to me, why were you not there. And I was taught to believe that you would be there, and I cried to you when you were gone. um, and so, after living through that for so many years, I look back now and I see that God just set me up so many times and put people around me to just pull me back to him and make me understand. But when God spoke to me a couple of years ago, after years of therapy and years of 12-step programs and trying so hard to fix myself and clear this emptiness on my own, and sometimes it would work for a little while, and sometimes I'd be clean for a little while, and I would try to be a good mom and the best that I could do. But for the most part, I kept that emptiness around me. And after all of that, I was finally able to just give up. And when I gave up and finally decided to be submissive to God and understood that I may not ever know why, and that's okay. It's okay with me to not understand why I went through the things I did. I'm going to love God no matter what anyway, and I'm going to serve him. And when I was able to submit myself to Christ and ask Christ to come in and just heal my heart, um, that's when my life changed. And God spoke to me very clearly through a sign and said that um, he was here to heal my broken heart. And every time I would read that, it would speak to me. And I knew, so many times that God had saved me in the midst of all my craziness. And I knew that God was speaking to me, telling me that he wanted to heal me. And it was me who was keeping him from that. It was me who was keeping my heart away from him. And for so long, I didn't even realize that I was doing that, because I just felt like I needed to feel sorry for myself or nobody else would. And so when I was able to let that go and allow Him to come in, I was made a new creation, and I was given a new heart, and I was able to love my children in a way that I had never loved them before. And I was able to play with them and be able to be with them without wanting to be somewhere else. And I was able to be by myself in a room and be okay to be alone, because for the first time in my life I didn't feel alone, because Christ was in me, and I wasn't alone anymore. And there's no better feeling in the world to be able to be doing what you were created to do, and know that God has a beautiful plan for you,